as metalheads, sometimes we can go back to that whole comparing musicians and the realm of judgment there and be like, well, that's not metal enough, but if it's whatever is in you at that time, I think you have to release that. You have to get that out. It might be a lighter version. It might be a heavier version. You may be more of a rock guitar player, but you're starting to go to this extreme, black metal route. Hey, let that be the path, as long as that's truly organic and it's truly, boiling up within you. Or it might be completely the opposite, right? You might be
Right.
into extreme metal writing that, but you might pick up your acoustics like, you know what? I'm really enjoying this right now. Hey, let it be, right? There's no wrong answer here. So, but going back to comparing yourself, do guys, Ken and I will both just hammer you over the head, right? And tell you, do not compare yourself to other musicians or to anyone for that matter.
Yeah, but it's a slow burn, dude. It's a slow
It is.
burn.
It is.
I think for seasoned musicians, it's a little easier for us to understand that.
Yeah.
Because we've spent the time and the hours, perfecting our craft. Um, but even being like a seasoned musician, you could be a seasoned musician and only play covers all your life too. I think anybody who's really in the mindset of trying to do something original, it's a commitment. You're making a commitment to yourself that is, I'm not satisfied with just learning other people's music or using other people's music. You want to do something that's bigger than that. And you want to make your own legacy. And that's, partially what it comes down to. It's your contribution to the world. So, it's a sacred thing, and like through all the hardship that I've gone through with my own project, I've never once said, yeah, I'm just gonna hang the towel and that's it. Because at my core, it's like a conflict of my own code.
Yeah.
It's like my body does not compute giving up on this creative endeavor
Right.
because
Right.
it's something that has to be coming out of me in this world. um if you don't feel that way about your music, then you're not taking it seriously. This is a craft that is a representation of your being, you know. And if you and I tell students all the time, music industry is not easy, you know. People will say, of course, oh, you can probably find better ways to make money, and they're probably right.
Yeah, they're
you
they're
know
probably right.
they're probably right, but you're not doing music because you wanted to make bank. You're
Right.
doing music because this is what was calling you, and
Right.
you can't see yourself doing anything else. Okay. So if it's not for that first reason, then I would strongly consider what it is that you're doing. Because
No,
again,
absolutely.
yeah, this is a craft. This is a sacred pilgrimage for many of us, a journey of our lifetime.
Yeah.
And once you're a musician, you're always a musician. But not every musician is a songwriter. Okay.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
if you're a songwriter and you're creating original music, you have to treat it as a religious pact to yourself
Yeah.
that this is something that comes from, call it a higher power. This is why, by the way, okay, many old composers back in the Renaissance, back in the Baroque period, this is why they made a lot of holy music. Okay, they felt that their musical ability was given to them by God,
It
right?
was
And I'm
inspired by
not
God. Yeah.
and I'm not a religious person, but this is what they believe, and they felt it was from a higher power. That's why they created all these different types of masses and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like for all the secular music that they could have done, look at all the freaking religious music they did with that.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely, man. Yeah.
so it's telling you something just right, just about that. And you know, that's my word of advice. You know, take it as seriously as a commitment to, you know, a higher power, a higher entity, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But that is channeling through you in order to create this wonderful piece of music that is unlike any other because it is yours.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And along with that, guys, if you're not creating daily habits that push you further towards that goal of writing original music, right, then you need to make a schedule. You need to get to doing that, because that's a big thing too. We're kind of getting to more of a practical side of things here. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not do that. Okay, don't, because you're not that person, and guess what? They are not you. Understand that whatever's coming out of you organically, like we're talking about here, well, guess what? No one can do that as well as you can, right? Because that's your inspiration. That's coming from deep within. But now to get that, right, you have to practice. Okay, I know we're getting kind of on the, well, yeah, I know I need to practice, but you'd be surprised on how many people, musicians and people that want to do great things with their life, they dream up this pie in the sky. Well, I want this, but they're not taking those steps. Thank you for listening to that short clip of our latest podcast on Metal Mastermind. Be sure to listen to the entire podcast on metalmastermind.com. You can just click on podcast there or go to Spotify or Google Play. There are links in the description of this video. I want to say thank you so much for supporting and being a part of Metal Mastermind. And hey, drop us a comment if you have some things that you would like for us to cover in future podcasts. We'll see you on the next show. And remember, create your own sound and style.